When it comes to equipment and setting up your studio, there's nothing more important than doing your due diligence, doing your research. So then that should be the first thing we take a look at. Here are my favorite 5 websites that are going to give you a lowdown on what's happening, what's new, what's hot, what's coming out soon. And not just that, these are great learning resources. So I'm going to start off with johnnyelvin.co.uk. Check it out if you haven't already. This guy is just a godsend. He curates the best resources out there when it comes to post-production. The search tool here is amazing. Just look at it. Okay, so let's go through a couple of things here. Using an OLED TV for post-production. Here's the thing. When you click on his stuff, it's not something that you can just scroll down here and it's over. I mean, this stuff is in detail. So if you like to take your time and just go through this stuff, I mean, he breaks it down like nobody's business. He adds all these resources that you need to know when you're doing your due diligence. He lets you know how to set it up if you're using it with DaVinci Resolve or what have you, what other competitors are doing in terms of technology. I mean, just look at it. It will never stop. It'll just keep going. So one of the best resources, my ultimate secret sauce. I've learned so much from this website and it is now yours. Bookmark this right now, and anytime you want to go through anything, it goes deep, man. The making of classic editing Heat, like the movie Heat, and when you go in, like, he'll interview people and he'll drop in trailers and teasers and different things behind the scenes, and again, it just goes on and on and on. It's just such an unbelievable resource. So, and then another thing that you can do if you're setting up your studio is go under gear section, and then besides what I recommend you can always just do your due diligence and go through the list here and see what he's got going on, read about it, and see maybe there's something that's more applicable to you than what I'm talking about. Although, if you want to be a colorist, then whatever I'm giving you is just dialed in and tried and tested. But just having additional options, it never hurts. So he has that section. It goes in detail. He breaks it down by budget. So definitely worth checking out. Moving on to my second website is Studio Daily. If you are into anything related post-production, which you obviously are if you're taking this masterclass, this resource is unreal. Just go through it. Check it out. It's all work by professionals and interviewing cinematographers, editors, audio professionals, VFX guys, post-production in general, color grading, online editors, blah, blah, blah. It goes on. You can go under tabs such as storage and read about what's happening and what's hot right now in the industry. And this is such an amazing resource. Like if I go under post-production, like just look at that. The first link. I mean, just look at that. So, I mean, I didn't know that. I just found out about it. So stuff like that. I mean, you can go through and just read about, like, see reviews on laptops, especially if you're running a PC. This might actually help you out quite a bit because, guys, it's totally different. Like, a lot of times people are just like, hey, you know, I have a gaming PC. Should that be perfect when I'm doing editing and color grading? It can be at times, and then other times, you know, there's little nuances that you just got to dig in and understand what you need to avoid any bottlenecks. So this is a great resource. I mean, they even have, if you're in the United States, I mean, you can even go under jobs tab and look at like what they got going on. They also fill you in on any upcoming webinars. And again, everything that you're looking at here, all these guys are just hooked up and they're real professionals. So check them out. Another really good resource when you're doing your research or just being in tune to like what's happening in the industry. And that is the most important thing as a post-production professional, because we have to stay on the bleeding edge of technology. These are the resources that I'm using and are helping me have that edge. The third resource has to be No Film School. I'm sure most of you are familiar with it in the United States, but people who have never heard of it, please check it out. This place just curates the best trending stuff in the filmmaking world. So it's not necessarily restricted to just post-production, but that's also good because I encourage all of you to expand your horizon and don't limit yourself. In 2019, in this day and age, it's an unbelievable skill to be a jack of all trades, and it's coming back. And this is what's hot right now. So you need to jump on shooting, editing, color grading, onlining, knowing a little bit of visual effects. It all comes in handy. So don't stop learning, just keep going, keep going. If you want to become an all-rounder filmmaker, look no further. Just dig deep to No Film School and just eat up everything that they got. And I'm going to show you something really interesting here. So if you click on boards right here, this is sort of like their forum section, and it's really cool because all you got to do is just hover over here, click on editing and post-production, and check this out. Look at this. So I mean, you know, how to build a Hackintosh editing system on a cheap. And you can click here and just look at what they got going on. This is, again, very, very useful. And different cameras, like comparisons, things like that. And this is all in one place. Yes, there's 10 million forms out there that you can use, but then you just get lost. That's way too much. So I'm trying to keep it streamlined. I'm trying to keep it less intimidating. Go through these. It takes me literally 5 minutes. I spend a minute on each one every day. Because I look at it every day, I don't need to spend 50 minutes catching up. So like, I'll just go through it, look at it, and see what's happening and move on. Look at this, Macintosh or Windows. And then you click on it and it'll give you a breakdown and take you through what they're talking about. So it's really interesting, and it's very important to become part of these communities and be in the know, because everything is just happening so fast. I mean, new cameras, programs, new plugins, things are coming out, and you have to stay on that edge. You can't just learn DaVinci Resolve 16 and not upgrade for the next 3 years and think that it'll be okay. It might be okay, but knowing and staying on the bleeding edge will never hurt. So that's No Film School, your all-round filmmaker kit. Now moving on to NewsShooter. And this has to be the one site that put me on Aperture Lighting, and I picked it up here, and they just do unreal reviews. Like, you can click on anything and then just look at how deep their reviews are, and like all the videos that they put together and their own testing that they do, and they go in there and they're professionals. I mean, just look at their work. Look at that, 18-time Emmy Award winning DP. You kidding me? So this is the kind of website you want to be on and place you want to be learning things from. When you click on software, just look at that. So they'll keep you up to date with what's happening. I own Hedge, and now this is cool because I didn't check this out. So I can click on it and see what's happening and get my updates here. I'm sure audio will be the same thing, lighting will be the same thing, lenses, cameras, camera accessories. You know what I'm talking about. So anything that you guys are looking for, you can click here. The breakdowns are great. The search engine is perfect. So check it out for sure. And especially if you're going to be investing in gear, this is a good stop. And then ultimately B&H for all who are in United States and people in other countries. I mean, obviously, I don't know. I'm not there, so I don't know what's the equivalent to these websites. eBay, where you can buy used stuff in America. I don't know what's the equivalent to that is, but you need to always have two websites. One where you can buy new stuff like B&H or Amazon, and then the other one where you can find deals like eBay or Craigslist. So guys, just remember, have those two always open when you're doing research and trying to get something, and then type it in and look it up. Sometimes you might find a deal, like, you know, here we have a deal zone, so I can look it up. And like right now, if I look at Zoom H4n Pro, they have $40 off deal going on right now. This is a better deal than buying it used on eBay today. So sometimes you will deal with stuff like that. Same thing right here. You're saving $665. They're not BSing you. This is a real deal. If you go on eBay and look for used, the used is going for $1,100. So here you're getting brand new for $900, and this is not a clearance item. So these are the things that eventually I'm going to be educating you on a little bit in this section, but you just need to know that this stuff exists, and always be on the lookout, because the studio that you're going to want to build is going to cost a lot of money, and this is how you got to play the game to get there faster without spending 50 years in the making. So to wrap it up, I will highly recommend bookmarking these sites and turn it into a daily ritual. Just thumb through it, Spend a minute, minute and a half on each one and try to see what's happening, stay educated, and let's move on to the next lesson.